Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Sunday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenna Rashipura.
And I'm Esther Kamati.
Good evening, Esther. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Glenn?
I'm great. Getting into the news today. Executive Director in the Ministry of Information, Dr. Adrian Mathe, has conceded that there was never any legal requirement for the capturing of biometric data needed for SIM card registrations. This is despite mobile operators TN Mobile and MTC requiring its subscribers to submit their biometric data. Communications Regulatory Authority of Namibia legal representative Stanley Kavetu says mobile operators are giving customers a 3-month time period to retain their numbers in the event they have not registered their numbers. Thereafter, customers face the prospect of losing their numbers. Let's take a look.
What will happen is on the 31st of December, it will be the last day to register your SIM cards. And on the 1st, meaning on the 1st of January, your SIM cards will be suspended. So what the regulation provides for is that you have 3 months to retain the number. So what would basically entail is that within those 3 months, the consumer still have the opportunity to keep their number if they register that number. But what will happen after those 3 months is the operators will have, it will be within their right to allocate that number to anyone else if you don't register within those 3 months.
Now, do you think this is a necessary activity to have one SIM card registered?
I think it certainly is necessary because it's also being done in other parts of the world as well. It makes it easier for law enforcement to track things such as cyber crimes and generally just crimes in general. If you commit a crime and there's like a cell phone device in the mix or associated, then it can be linked to you, which obviously helps law enforcement a lot.
No, I think it's a great idea. On that note, have you registered? Because I know that everybody is rushing to register their cards.
I have. I think I was among the first people to register my SIM cards because I think it is very necessary to assist where you can in terms of the regulations and so forth. But I feel like Namibians generally do not have the same attitude as me. Most people have put it off until the very last minute, and only when they're threatened to say you might actually lose your number is when they would want to go ahead and register.
Exactly. I was in the same boat. The only reason why I got it registered, I think I lost the phone or whatever, and then when I was renewing the card, they're like, you can just register it. So I also registered quite early, but I would have been in the same boat as most of the Namibians had it not been for that mishap. Now, in our next story, on a rather sad note, 2 girls, both aged 11, are suspected of having drowned after they allegedly went swimming with their friends without adult supervision at Henties Bay on Friday. Now, according to Head of Community Affairs in the Erongo region, Inspector Eleni Shapumba, who confirmed the incident, the missing girls left the house between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. with their friends to go to the sea. It was further alleged that a strong wave swept them away while they were in the water with the other kids. Now, the rest of the kids managed to run out of the water, but the 2 girls struggled in vain. Members of the police in Henties Bay, plus the family and community members, are busy searching with hope to retrieve the missing children, Shapumba said, adding that both girls' parents were informed. Shapumba urged the members of public to exercise caution at all times. This was really saddening. What more do you think can be done to reduce these drowning incidents?
I think municipalities should look into having lifeguards on duty 24/7, not only during the festive season, because from what I've seen, especially in popular areas or holiday destinations such as Swakopmund and Walvis Bay, this is the time when they get people, lifeguards on board to actually watch and make sure that people do not drown. But I think it's necessary throughout the year, and not only at this during the festive season or during peak season when they're expecting an influx of visitors. I think it's also important, the officer who was handling the case has encouraged the community in terms of, because swimming in the sea or in the ocean is very dangerous, so he's advocating for people to actually go for a swim in areas that are meant for that purpose, such as the local swimming pools and so forth.
Oh, instead of going to swim in the ocean. Oh, I actually never thought of that. Like,
because it's also a safety hazard, especially when you grow up in the coast. Children always just leave, and the parents do not know where they are, and they end up in situations like this, which is rather sad.
Yeah, this is really, really sad indeed. Now, moving on to our next story. Latest statistics show there has been a huge increase in the amount of alcohol consumed by Namibian 15 years and older over the past few years. Statistics compiled by the World Health Organization from 2019 in its World Health Status Report indicate that Namibians consume 5.9 liters of pure alcohol per person a year. In 2021, the report indicated that Namibians consumed 3.1 liters of pure alcohol per person a year, while in 2017, WHO reported that Namibians consumed 11.8 liters of pure alcohol per person a year. Namibia was at that time also the highest consumer of alcohol in Africa. According to the latest statistics, Namibia still falls among the 20 nations that drink the least on the continent. The African nation that drank the least was Benin at 0.20 liters of alcohol per person a year, while Namibia, with its 5.9 liters of alcohol consumption per capita per year, ranked 15th on this list. Now, according to the report, a Ugandan consumes 12.21 liters of alcohol annually, the highest. In previous reports by Japan's Kirken Beer University, results of its annual survey on global beer consumption for the last relevant year pre-pandemic 2019, revealing that the biggest beer drinking nation in the world is the Czech Republic at 188.6 liters per capita. Namibia was also featured very high on the list, coming in 6th in the world, drinking 99.5 liters of beer per capita in a year, which is 22.4 bottles more than the previous year, and a total consumption of 248 million liters per year, he added. Now, Namibian alcohol consumption increases. What are your thoughts on this?
I do believe the statistics. I mean, numbers don't lie, and also in our communities generally, you see that almost every household has somebody who has an excessive drinking problem. I think drinking habits, it's something we've normalized, in fact, because you can't even throw a braai or anything without booze being involved. So,
and it's not even like just one glass of alcohol, one glass of beer or whatever. It's like excessive drinking. Recently I saw a meme on Facebook or somewhere on the social media apps, and we were first, number one in Africa, and then we've come down, I think, to 5th. I'm not so sure, I still stand to be corrected, but then they were listing this and they're like, guys, we have to go back to drinking as much as we were so that we're back to number one in Africa. And that's not something to be proud of. It's not something we should, take pride in. Yeah. And like you said, there's a number of houses. Everybody, knows somebody who's an alcoholic or struggling with alcohol. So it's something we need to really work on as a nation.
I'm not sure if December is the right time to tackle that issue, but hopefully it will reduce.
Now, moving on, in our Story of the Day segment, we talk about the Nedbank Food Festival, which concluded in Swakopmund today.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts, and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
Getting into our story of the day, this is the 5th year in a row for the Nedbank Swakopmund Food Festival, bringing families together for a variety of food. Salma Kaulinge, Nedbank's Public Relations and Communications Manager, had this to say about the event. Rather, let's take a look.
It's that time of the season, guys. Yes, it is the Nedbank Food Festival, and with me I have the lovely PR and Communications Manager for Nedbank Namibia, Salma Kaulinge.
Hello.
Salma,
Yes.
how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Well, previously, the last time we spoke about the Desert Dash,
Yes.
and that was a round of applause to you guys.
Thank you so much. Yes, the dash just finished last weekend in
Yeah.
Swakopmund. We are back again today.
Exactly. And guys, I actually have a beautiful aerial overview. Cue that section right now. Yes, if you guys can see, it's the man in green and Salma. I did a walk around, and I have to say, round of applause.
Thank you so much.
Really, really, really well done. How does it feel to be back here for the how many year now?
I think it's almost about our 5th year that we are
Yes.
doing the Nedbank Food Festival. It's great to be back. We love to be in Swakopmund in December. Like I said, we just did the dash, now the food festival. The weather is lovely. We have our vendors just setting up, ready to welcome everybody who's going to come to the Nedbank Food Festival this weekend.
And the turnaround, like the turnout is amazing. I actually earlier had some shrimp coconut rice.
Yeah. So there's so much food, there's so much variety. If you love kapana, if you like Namibian cuisine, we have people doing poikis. There's so much to choose from. If you love food, this is the place you need to be this weekend.
Yes, and then, you guys have been doing this now for the 5th year in a row. What is different for this year than, previous years that you guys have been doing?
So every year we try to change it up a bit. I think this year what we've done is we have the DSTV kitchens. We will be having live demonstration food kitchens. So if you're also interested in that, you can do that. Apart from that, I think we have more vendors this year, so there's more variety. So yeah, I think it's bigger and better. If you have children, there's a place for kids to play, so there's something for everybody.
And Esther actually demonstrated to me. Esther, if you guys do not know, she is the Nedbank Kapana competition winner for this year.
Yes.
She showed me how she does the chunkies.
Yeah.
So what can you guys also expect? Because I do also know that Nedbank has amazing business deals.
Yes. So Nedbank is here, we are sponsoring, so obviously we are also promoting our products. We are promoting everything. I think that the one thing I can touch on is our Beyond Banking products, which is Avo. Avo is an online platform where you can actually buy, if you haven't bought your Christmas gifts yet, you can head over to Avo Namibia, download the app, and you can start purchasing. We have from iStore to leather goods. We have a lot of Namibian based companies on Avo. We're also promoting Pay Today, which is also a Beyond Banking platform, which you can use to pay whatever. Pay for parking, pay friends, pay vendors who are also connected to the Pay Today app.
Now, my mouth was salivating looking at the food. It looks so delicious. I'm a foodie, so obviously I'm a bit sad that I couldn't make it to the food festival. Have you ever attended any of the food festivals?
No, I haven't. In fact, I was telling a friend earlier that I always want to attend, but I never end up going. So hopefully the next one I'll definitely be there. But also, it's commendable for Nedbank to keep the food festival alive for 5 years and counting.
Yes,
it's really a beautiful chance for families to come together, for people to explore different types of food, and just generally have a good time.
Yeah, no, it looked like a good time was had. Now, after the break, we dive into economic news. Do stay with Sunset News.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
Getting into our economic news, the production of milk has declined in the last quarter of 2023. Joe Omari Dadi reports. Let's take a look.
On an annual basis, the production of milk in Namibia declined during the past quarter, mainly due to an increase in the cost of animal feed, but milk output rose on a quarterly basis. Milk production decreased year-on-year by 0.2% to 4 million litres during the third quarter of 2023. The decline was partly owing to stiff competition from cheaper imports. In addition, the industry continued to receive headwinds from a shortage of spent grain, which is used as feed input, and from a substantial increase in the price of lucerne during the quarter under review. Conversely, quarter on quarter, according to the Bank of Namibia, milk production rose by 2.1% from 3.9 million litres produced in the previous quarter.
Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.24, against the euro at 19.99, against the US dollar at 18.34. $2 Namibian and 58 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, gold and platinum went down while copper and Brent crude oil went up. Brent crude oil trading at 0.31%, going for $76 and 89 cents per barrel. Okay, let me just. After this short break, we'll be getting into your international news. Now, Australian authorities on Sunday urged thousands of people in North Queensland state to move to higher ground because of the danger of flooding from torrential rains. Queensland authorities said major flooding was underway in some suburbs of Cairns, a tourist hub of around 170,000 people located around 1,700 kilometers north of state capital Brisbane. Now, properties in these areas may continue to experience flooding with the approaching high tide and continued rainfall. Residents should move to higher ground now, Queensland Fire and Emergency Services said on its website in one of several emergency alerts for parts of North Queensland. Now, the flooding came with heavy rain from ex-tropical cyclone Jasper, which hit the region this week, leaving tens of thousands without power and forcing evacuations. Australia's weather forecaster predicted dangerous and life-threatening flash flooding in Cairns, a gateway to the Great Barrier Reef, and said water levels later on Sunday could exceed 1,971 record flood peak of 4.1 meters. Now, Cairns local disaster management group said homes, buildings, roads and bridges had been inundated. Now, power, water and sewerage and telephone services could be lost in the area, the agency said in a statement. Now, this is definitely saddening, you know.
It's really devastating as well for these flash floods, and it's happening a lot this year all over the globe. In fact, in Africa as well. I think it was in Mozambique where there were flash floods earlier, and in South Africa as well. And it's devastating to see how this impacts people's livelihoods. Suddenly you don't have a home anymore and so forth.
Yeah, and definitely. And one might think, you know, we talk about climate change and what's happening, and these are some of the effects of that. And I guess it's good that the world is moving forward in terms of trying to move to a cleaner energy system and just trying to take care of the ecosystem. Now, in our next story, British teenager Alex Betty, who was found in France after being missing for 6 years, has returned to the UK. Greater Manchester Police said. Now, Alex, his mother and grandfather all vanished in 2017 while they were on holiday in Spain. His mother does not have parental guardianship of the 17-year-old and her current whereabouts are unknown. The force said at a press conference it is yet to establish the circumstances about his disappearance. Police are yet to determine whether there will be a criminal investigation. Alex was found on Wednesday by a motorist who spotted him on a road in the foothills of the French Pyrenees near Toulouse. Assistant Chief Constable Matt Boyle said his force are yet to determine whether there will be a criminal investigation. Now, speaking at a news conference on Saturday night, GMP Assistant Chief Constable Matt Boyle said Alex was met at Toulouse Airport by a family member and specially trained officers earlier before flying back to the UK. GMP said as it had not obtained formal statements from Alex, it could not comment on details disclosed by French authorities about what he may have been doing while he has been missing. Speaking with him at a pace that feels comfortable to him will ultimately determine how this case is progressed and whether a criminal investigation is to ensue. Wow. What are your thoughts on this story?
Firstly, I'm glad he was found alive, but obviously the details are still sketchy in terms of how he got there, what he has been doing for all these 6 years and so forth, and hopefully investigations do proceed to give the world clarity on where this boy has been for 6 years.
Yeah, I'm eager to know any further developments in this story. After this short break, we'll be getting into your weather predictions.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
Let's get into our weather predictions. Katima Mulilo can expect some showers with a minimum of 20 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 38 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can also expect some showers with a minimum of 24 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. Henties Bay can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 20 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. We now take a look at our sports news. We'll be taking a look at what's happening at the CrossFit event that happened in Swakopmund.
You've got to face the box. Box facing. 15 seconds. 10.
Ons gesels met Mika. Nou Mika, hierdie kompetisie het gister begin. Hoe het dit gegaan vir jou?
Nee, gister was baie mooi. Ek was baie happy dat die eerste workout swem van het, want ek het al na Suid-Afrika gegaan vir swem.
Ja.
En toe besluit ek by daai eerste workout, okay, ek gaan die swem lekker push, dan het ek 'n klein lead.
Ja.
En ja, toe hou ek maar net daai lead die hele keer. Die tweede workout was net die sand het lekker warm geraak en dan met die unevenheid van die vloer of van die sand, toe kramp die voete 'n bietjie, maar was lekker. Was baie lekker gister.
Nou, hoe lank doen jy al die sport, CrossFit?
Ek het CrossFit begin net voor ek 12 geraak het. So ek doen dit nou al soos 5 jaar.
Wow. Hoe vind jy hierdie kompetisie?
Nee, Fit as 'n naam was altyd 'n lekker kompetisie, want dit is net jy kry elke persoon, jy kry van die kus, jy kan van die noorde, van die suide, kry almal net saam en dan compete ons lekker.
Sê, dag 2, hoe dinge gegaan?
Dag 2 was baie lekker. Die eerste workout, ek wou hom graag klaar maak. Toe was ek net 2 reps kort. En die workout daarvoor het ek net besluit, okay, ek sal nou nie hastig raak of enige iets, ek sal dit my eie pace hou. En toe pay dit off. So, ja, ek kan nie kla.
Nou, wat betekent die sport vir jou?
CrossFit vir my beteken net dat ek kan oud raak en nog steeds met my kinders of haar kinders later nog met hulle speel of ietsie. Dis wat vir my CrossFit is.
Sê. Nou, is daar 'n paar veranderinge in die kompetisie hierdie jaar?
Ja, so die laaste 5 jaar het ons CrossFit Soccer Winter georganiseer.
Ja.
En toe hierdie jaar het CrossFit Damascus opgestep en al die workouts geprogrammeer. En net die vendor is nog dieselfde soos laas jaar, maar ek dink ons het back in the day baie soos fietsgoed en ander goed gedoen en hierdie jaar is meer net CrossFit focused.
Sê. Nou sê vir my, vertel my 'n bietjie van jou klub man, Damascus.
Nee, so ja, ek dink CrossFit Damascus is nou 6 jaar oud.
Ja.
En dit het eintlik begin met Patrick de Goede, Elske de Goede, Max Meyer en sy vrou.
Ja.
En ek het CrossFit net begin want ek wou sterker word vir sokker, want ek het back in the day sokker gespeel.
Ja.
En ek het altyd gesê nee, maar ek wil nie doen. Toe sê sy kom, doen een klas en doen ek een klas by CrossFit Damascus en toe het net daai hele atmosfeer my net gevat en toe nou doen ek dit.
Wat is jou boodskap vir die ander atlete?
Nee, my boodskap is net dankie dat al die atlete gekom het.
Ja.
En dis net altyd lekker. Ek weet dis nou nie dis bietjie dure kant van 'n kompetisie, maar dis net lekker om teen julle te compete en dat julle eintlik hier so kom. Man, dis net great atmosphere.
Jou taktiek vir die laaste event?
My taktiek vir laaste event?
Ja.
Go hard.
Dink jy gaan hom deurtrek? Jy het seker 'n lekker gap opgemaak daarbo.
Ja, ek het 'n klein gap, maar ek sal nog steeds kyk of ek kan wen.
Sterkte.
Dankie ou.
Asai. Baie dankie.
And with that, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in on this lovely Sunday evening. And thank you, Esther, for joining us and giving us a little bit of your thoughts.
It's a pleasure.
From me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.